Okay, so today we're talking about how do I add a page to my menu in WordPress. So this is a self-hosted site. This is not wordpress.com. This is your own self-hosted domain. So this is pretty easy actually, and it doesn't really matter too much which theme you have running. I've got the Cadence theme, but this will work in the same way whichever theme you have. So what you need to do is to go over here. You've logged into the dashboard as an administrator, go over to Appearance, and then you go down to Menus. So I'm just going to show you a couple of different things. So first of all, this is my header menu. So up here, you've got different menus, and you can always create one. All I've got is a header menu and a footer menu for my site. So you can create one, you just call it header menu. So if I was to create a new one, let's say I called it side menu, I'd create it and then I'd add to it what I want to. You can also change here the locations. So for example, you can see the primary one at the top of my site is my header and my footer is my footer menu. And you can, this will depend on your theme, if you've got like mobile and stuff like that, but you can change it. You can also have secondary menus. We won't dive too much into that. What we're going to do now is add a page. So let's just say, obviously my site is set up and I'm just going to add something for you and then take it off again because I've got it how I want it to at the moment. So you can see here you've also got drop down menus. And we'll talk about that in a second. So we've got an about page and we've got a home page. Let's just say I've got this page, the podcast page. So all you do is you click on it. You can either view all of your pages. You can search for a page if you've got a lot. But I'm just going to look at my most recent. I'm going to say add to menu. And you can see down here, if you want it to be all in capitals, if that's how you like your menu, which mine is. You can also have it open link in a new tab. Now, if it was a shop or it was taking you somewhere external, I would click open link in a new tab. If it's somewhere on your site, I would not do that. You just want it to open within the same browser tab. No menu, no parent, sorry. So that's basically it. So let's just save that and then I'm going to go over here. You can see there's no podcast up here, but then when we refresh it, you should see podcast appear. Okay, so then you've got that there. Now, let's just say, take it back, say I wanted to put this podcast under freebies. Okay, so I've got some drop down with different freebies there. So what you can do is you want to move it up and you make sure that you move it over. So you can see that will be a top level. Moving it over would be a drop down. So you save that menu and we'll just see that here. So we'll refresh that. Go here to freebies and you can see the podcast is at the bottom of that. Now, supposing it's not a page and you want to create something entirely new. So I'm just going to delete that for a minute, otherwise it might confuse people. So I actually have got my shop already set up. However, let's just say I wanted to add it because this is an external link. So this is my PayHip store. So we'll just copy that. So you just copy the URL of whatever you want to link out to. It doesn't have to be your store. It could be anything. But obviously it's going to be something that you want to send traffic to because you're putting it into your menu. Now what you can do here is those were pages at the top that we talked about. You can also add a post to your menu if you want to. So it's a blog post. We won't go into Lasso because that's just a plugin. You can also add a category, and I do that sometimes. So let's just say I wanted to draw attention to my three, I could call it around the blog or something as the top level, and then I could add blogging mindset as drop down. So that's another thing you can do. You do it in exactly the same way. You just add it to the menu and then you just move it, around or, top level. You can move it to wherever you want it to be. But the last one is custom links, and this is where you can send it to external places. So we add the URL. So let's just call it store, add to menu. That will appear at the bottom. And then I can open it in a new window because I want people not to lose my site when they open it, so they go and just open the new site, but to have my blog open still, but also to open the new link. So we'll save that. Go back here, so go back to the home page. You can see here, store. So this remains open when I click on this, and you can see up here a new tab is opened, and that takes me to the store. And there's just one more bonus thing I want to share with you. So for example, on my drop down here, so I've got my shop, and then I've got my academy, my courses, and this is an Etsy store that I've got. So you can see here the shop is a custom link. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to be clickable. Because if that one at the top was, clickable, they wouldn't see that there's a drop down. So I want that one just to be static, and then these to be drop downs. So I'll just show you quickly how to create that. So what you do is you do a custom link. So I'm just going to call it. Now, if it's not taking you anywhere else, what you do is a little bit of a workaround, but you put in your website address. So just your normal domain name. Then let's just call it top level, and then you'll see what I mean. Then you add it to the menu. We'll save it. Now there's one extra thing you have to do. So underneath that you would add whatever your drop downs were. And let's just do a couple of posts just quickly, just so you can see what I mean. So there I've got my, you can even do a drop down of a drop down if you want to. If you've got a lot of things on your menu. I tend not to have too many because I think when it opens on mobile it's too much. But in here you can now see top level, and then you've got 2 blog posts. Now the problem is that is still coming up as a clickable link. You can see that is not a clickable link. That is a clickable link, and obviously if you clicked on it, it just takes them round a loop to your website again. So you don't want to do that. So what you do is you just take that out. So take the actual URL out, save it, go back here and refresh it. So you can see not clickable, because you can see there's no little pointy. And then there is a hand there, so that means it's clickable. But when we refresh it after I made that last change, it's now not clickable, and that's what you want for your top level menus. Hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, always feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll see you next time with another tip for growing your business.